Albert Einstein, Traces of Genius. Albert Einstein is considered one of the greatest scientists of the 20th century. He laid the foundations of modern physics theories and guided science with his thoughts. Einstein's work has made significant contributions both to theoretical physics and to everyday life. He completely changed the way we understand the behavior of fundamental things like light, gravity, and time. Early life and education. Albert Einstein was born on March 14, 1879, in the city of Ulm, Germany. His father, Hermann Einstein, and mother, Pauline Koch, belonged to a Jewish family. As a child, Einstein developed differently from other children. Starting to speak at the age of 3 caused those around him to question his intelligence. Being a quiet and introverted child, Einstein was taken to a doctor by his parents because he still had difficulty speaking before starting school. However, the curiosity and determination he showed at a young age were signs of how great a scientist he would become. Despite their Jewish heritage, Einstein's parents enrolled their 5-year-old son in a Catholic Christian elementary school to ensure he received a good education. Although Einstein was uncomfortable with the discipline and rote learning at the school, he always achieved high grades and was often the top of his class. Introduced to music by his mother, Pauline, Einstein began taking violin lessons at the age of 6. He eventually became an amateur violinist and always enjoyed playing Mozart and Beethoven sonatas. In 1880, Einstein's family moved to Munich, where Albert received his early education at the Luitpold Gymnasium. During his education, he showed great interest in science subjects like mathematics and physics. His new school was more disciplined than the previous one. Einstein constantly argued with his authoritarian teachers, who did not appreciate his independent and rebellious personality. As an old Jewish tradition, Einstein's family began inviting a poor student, Max Talmud, to their home. At the age of 10, Einstein enjoyed discussing science, mathematics, and philosophy with an older university student. When Einstein was 13, Talmud brought him Immanuel Kant's Critique of Pure Reason. Einstein had no difficulty understanding the book and began talking about Kant frequently at school. Talmud continued to bring books, and Einstein not only read them, but also worked on the problems within. He solved all the problems in Euclid's Elements and found alternative proofs for the theorems. In 1891, he started working on an algebra book brought by his engineer Uncle Jakob and was able to solve even the most complex problems. By the age of 16, he had taught himself analytic geometry. In 1894, after his father's company went bankrupt, his family moved to Italy, but Einstein stayed in Munich for his education. After 6 months alone, he became depressed and joined his family, promising to study for admission to a school in Zurich. While studying in Italy, he also visited museums and art galleries. In 1894, his family moved to Switzerland, and Albert attended the Argovian Cantonal School in Aarau. The education he received there shaped his way of thinking and scientific approach. In 1896, despite being only 16 years old, Einstein was admitted to the Swiss Federal Polytechnic School, ETH Zurich. He decided which subjects to study and skipped classes he didn't like or professors he didn't appreciate. He read books unrelated to his coursework, focusing only on his interests. Einstein, who never took lecture notes, succeeded in his exams thanks to the notes taken by his friend Marcel Grossmann. In his 3rd year, Einstein started taking Professor Weber's electrical engineering laboratory course. Although he liked Weber's introductory physics courses, he thought Weber was insufficient in advanced physics. During this period, Einstein became disrespectful and arrogant, which had consequences after graduation. After Einstein graduated in 1900, Weber prevented him from obtaining an academic position. After graduating with a physics diploma, Einstein sought an assistant position to conduct his doctoral research. However, his rebellious attitude during university and selective attendance had angered many professors. He couldn't find a position at the Polytechnic due to the professors' recommendation letters. He sent his research papers to other universities, but received no positive responses. After spending 2 troubled years, he found a job as an assistant examiner at the patent office, thanks to the father of an old classmate. In 1902, the job at the Swiss Patent Office provided him both financial support and an environment where he could develop his ideas. Einstein's personal life was also full of challenges. During his university years, Einstein met Mileva Maric. They started a romantic relationship while being classmates and decided to marry in their final year of university. However, his mother opposed this. Mileva became pregnant before marriage and had to leave her studies. In 1902, she gave birth to a daughter while with her family. The daughter either died young due to illness or was given up for adoption, according to another account. In 1903, Einstein and Mileva married and had two sons, Albert and Edward. Einstein's marriage began to deteriorate when he started an affair with his cousin Elsa in 1912. They started living separately in 1914 and divorced in 1919. A few months later, Einstein married Elsa. Although he had no children with his second wife, he embraced Elsa's two daughters as his own. Einstein's second son, Edward, was highly intelligent and musically talented. After graduating high school with high honors in 1929, Edward began studying medicine to become a psychiatrist. However, while aspiring to be a psychiatrist, he struggled with mental illness himself and was diagnosed with schizophrenia at the age of 20. Edward had to discontinue his education due to his admission to a sanatorium. To escape the rising Nazi regime, Einstein emigrated to America in 1933 and never saw Edward again. Upon emigrating to America, Einstein faced another issue. FBI agent J. Edgar Hoover suspected Einstein of being a Soviet agent. As a result, Einstein was kept under constant surveillance, and a 1-800-page file was compiled on him: illness, death, and the theft of his brain. If you want to be as smart as Einstein, don't forget to follow our channel and like the video. Share your thoughts about Einstein with us in the comments section. Einstein died from internal bleeding on April 18, 1955, caused by the rupture of a blood vessel near his heart due to an aortic aneurysm. He needed surgery but refused it, saying, "I want to go when I want. It is tasteless to prolong life artificially. I have done my share. It is time to go, and I will do it elegantly." People believe that Einstein's brain was significantly different from the average human brain. Aware of this, he did not want his body to be idolized after his death. He wanted to be remembered for his contributions to ideas and science. Therefore, he asked his family to have him cremated after his death and requested that no research be conducted on his dead body. He feared that people could misuse any information they discovered. Unfortunately, Einstein's fears came true. After his death in 1955, his brain was stolen by pathologist Thomas Harvey at Princeton Hospital during the autopsy. Harvey prepared Einstein's body for cremation and took the brain home in a food container. Even though Harvey was fired from the hospital for refusing to return the brain, he managed to obtain permission from Einstein's son, Hans Albert, to study it to unlock its secrets. Harvey sliced the brain into 240 thin sections to place on microscope slides and took 14 photographs of it from various angles. Over the next 30 years, he sent a few slides to researchers who requested them, but he kept the rest of the brain in 2 glass jars. Harvey sent a portion of the brain to a specialist for research. The study revealed that Einstein's brain had more glial cells than normal. This meant that Einstein's brain cells required and used more energy, leading to more advanced thinking abilities and conceptual skills. Additionally, Einstein's brain weighed only 1,230 grams, 170 grams less than an average human brain, and had a higher density of neurons. A 2012 study found that the lobes associated with abstract thought and planning had more intricate folds than usual. After Harvey's medical license was revoked in 1988, he donated the brain to Princeton Hospital. Pieces of the brain are now housed at the Mutter Museum in Philadelphia. Political and social views. Einstein is known not only for his scientific work, but also for his social and political views. During World War I, he openly expressed his anti-war sentiments, opposing the senselessness of war and the destruction it brought to humanity. In 1933, while visiting American universities, he learned that the German government had banned Jews from teaching at universities. A month later, when the Nazis initiated a book-burning campaign, he never returned to Germany, fearing for his life. A magazine with Einstein's picture on the cover, labeled "Not Yet Hanged," was published by the Nazi organization. A bounty was even placed on his death. Because of this, he lived in Belgium and England for a while before settling in the United States, where he continued his work at Princeton University. During World War II, Einstein, concerned about Nazi Germany's efforts to develop an atomic bomb, wrote a letter to President Franklin D. Roosevelt urging the initiation of atomic bomb research. This initiative led to the start of the Manhattan Project. However, after the war, faced with the destructive consequences of the atomic bomb, he deeply regretted his role and actively campaigned against nuclear armament. He expressed his regret with the sentence, "I made one great mistake in my life when I signed the letter to President Roosevelt recommending that atom bombs be made." Additionally, Einstein was actively involved in civil rights and human rights issues. He opposed racism and discrimination and supported the civil rights movement. In this regard, he is remembered not only as a scientist, but also as a human rights advocate. Scientific work and contributions. Einstein's scientific work extends beyond just the theory of relativity. He made significant contributions in the fields of statistical physics, thermodynamics, quantum mechanics, and cosmology. One of Einstein's important contributions in quantum mechanics is the Bose-Einstein condensation. This theory explains the behavior of matter waves at very low temperatures and has led to experimental studies in this area. Additionally, Einstein conducted important research on atomic theory. In a paper published in 1905, he demonstrated that atoms are real entities and that their movements at the molecular level have observable effects. This work played a crucial role in the acceptance of atomic theory. His work in cosmology contributed to the idea of the expansion of the universe. Initially, Einstein advocated for a static universe model, but later he accepted the idea of the expanding universe based on the observations of Edwin Hubble. This was a significant step in the development of modern cosmology. Einstein, who obtained his physics teaching diploma at the age of 21, published over 300 scientific papers before his death. Patent Office and Annus Mirabilis. During his time at the Patent Office, Einstein continued to work on scientific papers. The year 1905 is known as Einstein's Annus Mirabilis. Albert Einstein published papers that changed our understanding of the universe and laid the foundations of modern physics during this year. He released 4 significant papers and revolutionized modern physics. These papers included the photoelectric effect, Brownian motion, the special theory of relativity, and the formula ESMC2. These works propelled Einstein to stardom in the scientific community. His work on the photoelectric effect made a significant contribution to the development of quantum theory. This work earned him the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1921. The photoelectric effect demonstrates that light behaves not as a wave, but as energy packets called quanta. This study is considered one of the cornerstones of quantum physics and is used in modern technology, especially in photovoltaic cells and light sensors. His study on Brownian motion provided strong evidence for the existence of atoms and molecules. Einstein mathematically explains that this motion results from the random movements of tiny particles observed under a microscope caused by the surrounding fluid molecules. This work solidified the fundamental principles of statistical mechanics. Theory of relativity. Einstein's most famous work is the theory of relativity. In 1905, he developed the special theory of relativity. This theory challenges Newton's concepts of absolute time and space, suggesting that time and space change relative to the observer. The special theory of relativity asserts that the speed of light is constant for all observers, and that motion is relative. This theory is used particularly to explain the behavior of objects moving at high speeds, and is one of the cornerstones of modern physics. In 1915, Einstein introduced the General Theory of Relativity. This theory explains gravity as the curvature of space and time. The General Theory of Relativity offers a much broader perspective than the classical Newtonian theory of gravity and accounts for many observational data. In particular, observations made by British astronomer Arthur Eddington in 1919 confirmed Einstein's theory and brought him international fame. These observations during a solar eclipse showed that light is bent in the gravitational field, confirming the predictions of the General Theory of Relativity. Legacy and impact. Albert Einstein's legacy has left deep traces both in the scientific and societal realms. His work continues to assist astronomers today in examining everything from gravitational waves to the orbit of Mercury. The theory of relativity is considered one of the cornerstones of modern physics and finds applications in many fields. Examples of how Einstein's theories are used in everyday life include GPS technology, atomic clocks, and cosmological studies. Einstein's intellectual legacy is also significant for his contributions to scientific methods. He encouraged scientific curiosity, inquiry, and experimentation. His life and work demonstrate the importance of pushing the boundaries of science and discovering new ways of thinking. Additionally, Einstein's social and political views and his struggle for human rights and peace are evidence of his multifaceted genius. Einstein's work has had a significant impact not only in theoretical physics, but also in technological advancements. His theories have become part of the technological infrastructure of the modern world. For example, laser technology, semiconductors, and quantum computers are developments based on Einstein's work. Albert Einstein, one of the greatest scientists in human history, has left profound traces in both scientific and societal realms. His work on the theory of relativity and quantum mechanics laid the foundation of modern physics and led to advancements in many fields. Einstein is remembered not only as a scientist, but also as a pacifist and humanist thinker. His legacy will continue to serve as an endless source of inspiration for science and humanity. Einstein's life will be remembered not only for his scientific achievements, but also for his dedication to human rights and his advocacy for peace. This multifaceted genius has made significant contributions not only to the world of science, but also to the history of humanity. His thoughts and work will continue to enlighten future scientists and thinkers. Subscribe to our channel, comment, and don't forget to like.